If they said this is not a part of the hadith, no problem. Khalas, my bad, my bad. But this is not a lie, it's not a deception.
Brace yourself for brand new lies and deception in his panicked response video to the previous lie and deception that we exposed in our recent video about him. Please go back to our video titled Uthman ibn Fibn claims a modern footnote is a hadith.
The ulama of Islam, based on these evidences, have said that Masih is a word that is used as a title. It can be referenced to any prophet.
Oh wow, he's doing it again. He's at it again, corrupting his own sources again. Why do you think he superimposed this block of writing at the bottom onto the page in the background? Do you see the writing on the bottom? It's a different font, different size letters, with no diacritical marks like on the background original. And he tried his best to match the background color to the one on the original page in the background. He's corrupting his own sources with something that's typed. And you can tell the spacing is different. And he's even highlighted the bit that he wanted in bold. It's so obvious that it's typed. And you'll be shocked to know where it came from. It didn't come from any book. It came from modern Muslim websites talking about what they think the Jews believe in, and quoting the Psalms and the Gospel.
What?
Sheikh Uthman's not debating anymore.
What do you mean?
Yeah, no more.
Well, we don't want to debate. We just want to chat about life, right?
He's not talking to you guys again. Like, he's not gonna like debate or whatever. Like,
this is Daughter of Christ again, and this is part 2. An update for you, following Uthman ibn Fibn's scandal when he made up a false hadith. This is to show you what exposing evil and deception has led to, and to encourage the brothers and sisters who share this information and challenge Dawah gangs on their own platforms and channels, and of course the brave brothers who went to face Uthman and to hold him accountable. To expose their shocking ignorance of the Arabic language, their inability to look up or even read their own sources, despite claiming qualifications and titles like Sheikh, and a lot of dawah money from their fellow Muslims. Following our video, lots of Muslims also realized that their beloved Sheikh Uthman has been fibbing. This one says, "May Allah reward you with good, Sheikh Yusuf, but the scholars didn't mention, to my knowledge, that Messiah means the chosen one. Your speech is to be doubted. I have never heard a hadith with more than one Messiah in it. The Messiah is one, Isa the son of Mary, peace be upon him, and Allah spoke directly to Moses, peace be upon him only. I do not know of what benefit is this conversation, or where it would lead if Isa is the only Messiah or not. I do not understand what the Sheikh is talking about. We Muslims know that the word Messiah is exclusive to Isa, peace be upon him only. Why does the Sheikh say all messengers are Messiahs? Is this an invention to insult the Christian evangelist? I have referred back to the source he pointed to in the Musannaf, and I could not find what he said. Well, it's not surprising this person couldn't find what the Sheikh said, because it's obvious they can read and write in Arabic, so they were probably looking in the body of the text where the hadiths are written, and not in the footnotes where editors write their notes. And we'll see here that the expertise of people commenting in his comment sections are a lot higher than his. Perhaps they should be Sheikh, and they should be in the park instead of him. This one says, Assalamu alaikum, my Sheikh Uthman. I could not find evidence for that talk in Musannaf ibn Abi Shaybah. Please, who would guide me to the exact place of the evidence? This one says, when I went back to Musannaf Abi Shaybah, the 6th volume, page 479, I could not find what Uthman is talking about. What is this nonsense? My brother Uthman, the word you mentioned that was in Musannaf Abi Shaybah, al-Masha', it must be revisited. And I think the printed word is correctly pronounced as as-Samha', and it is said as ash-Sharia Samha'. And I could not find the term you mentioned in the hadiths, but in the explanatory comment by the editor, which he mentioned replying to the man-made laws and comparing it to the gentle Islamic Sharia. If only that person was the Sheikh in the booth, answering questions and objections, he wouldn't have been in the mess that Uthman ibn Fibn is now. This one says, the Sheikh specializes in hadith, as he said in previous videos. That means he must be very aware of the Hadith books and their styles. I'm very surprised by this approach that shows intentional lying and corrupting. Islam was never in need of this kind of defense. What would harm him to say there is no source in the Quran or Sunnah describing prophets as Messiah? Or if he said, I do not know a source that describes prophets as such. I hope the Shaykh corrects his mistake and tells people that what he said about the quote-unquote hadith was actually the author's comment. And let's remember the hadith of the Prophet that says, whoever intentionally lies about me, let him take his chair in hellfire. And talking of comments, we did see a few asking us, why don't you confront him if you're so confident? Why don't you talk to him face to face? The lion of the Dawah. Yes, if you're a fan of this lion of the Dawah, whose turn has come to respond, please watch carefully. Those of you who look up to that fraud of a sheikh, watch what happened when our brothers went back to confront him.
Sheikh Uthman's at the masjid. He's not coming. He's not debating anymore, he said. He's not coming. He's not debating anymore, he said.
What?
Sheikh Uthman's not debating anymore.
What do you mean?
Yeah, no more.
Well, we don't want to debate. We just
No
want to
more
chat.
talk. No more chat.
Oh.
So wait, is he not gonna?
No.
Yeah. He said that Uthman is saying that he won't talk anymore.
He's in itikaf. Like itikaf is like when you're in the masjid, you have to stay there. Like you have to be in for a day, so you can't leave. Like it's during the last 10 days of Ramadan, you go in the masjid and spend the night. Like,
So why would he go today?
Today?
Yeah.
Because it started today, so for him.
So he won't be here today.
Yeah, he's not coming. Yeah, he's not.
Come on.
No debating. Yeah.
All right. When is he coming back?
I don't like next Sunday.
Like, so he'll be here next Sunday?
I
mean, obviously
but he's
you
not
can't say
debating.
for
He's
sure.
not debating.
Inshallah, right?
He's not talking to you guys again. Like, he's not gonna like debate or whatever. Like,
And we have questions about it, the answer that he gave about that question.
I have questions about the paper he showed. He told me to look it up. He told me to bring the book. So here I am.
Yeah.
So he's going to show me the book.
Yeah. Well, I guess he's not.
Did you see that? All you fans and supporters of Sheikh Uthman? What happened to the lion? I hate to break it to you. He deceived you. It's all hype. He created an image of a knowledgeable, brave sheikh. On his channel, he's a lion, but on the ground, he was nowhere to be seen. But he emerged online 3 days later with a response video, while he was still meant to be in the mosque hiding, in Atikaf, as pressure mounted on him to respond. His time of seclusion in Atikaf should have been for 10 days, remember? The last 10 days of Ramadan, which we are still in now.
So you can't leave. Like it's during the last 10 days of Ramadan, you go in the masjid and spend the night.
So did he break his atikaf, his special one-to-one time with Allah, just to make a video? Or was there no atikaf to start with, but simply a delay tactic to avoid facing it again while he scrambled in a panic to work out a way to save face when he saw that his lie was exposed? Anyway, let's have a look at the response video. It seems like it's become a full-time job for us to look up the sources after him and find fabrication after fabrication.
If they said this is not a part of the hadith, no problem. We can look at the actual printed book, and if it's not, khalas, my bad.
He's saying, if they say it's not part of the hadith. So he still doesn't know if it's part of the hadith or not? He's still not sure? Doesn't he have a master's in hadith? Shouldn't he have checked for sure before making the response video? He can't recognize that a note starting with Dear Reader at the bottom of the page is not a hadith? His own lay audience in his comments recognize it. A 10-year-old Arab boy would recognize it's not a hadith. Oh no, but they need to say it's not part of the hadith, and we need to go to the printed version. Yeah, big words to cover up such a horrible ignorance.
And if it's not, khalas, my bad.
Khalas, my bad. Shouldn't he say, may Allah forgive me? I repent. I'm sorry for claiming the Prophet said something he never did, which is a very serious thing, as his own followers said. For a sheikh, I would have expected him to say something like, Astaghfirullah, I beseech forgiveness from Allah. But instead he says, my bad. Is this a sheikh?
This is not a lie, it's not a deception. I printed it directly, as you can see, from Maktab Shamil and took it to them.
It wasn't a lie or a deception? You sure about that? You forget that we have a picture of your paper. You said you printed it out as it was and brought it to us? No, you didn't. We've seen it, and it looks nothing like a page from a hadith book. Even though you have a master's in Hadith, let me tell you how a normal page from a Hadith book looks like. You have a body of text with Hadiths, and then you have footnotes at the bottom of the page. And usually there's a space between the two sections and a dividing line. Have a look. Here's your footnote that you quoted from different publications. You see Hadiths above, footnotes below, and there's a space and dividing line in between, which is nothing like the abomination that you showed us on your paper, where there was no space and no dividing line between the hadiths and the footnote. That paper was not printed out straight from a source. It was interfered with to bring together the wording of the footnote together with the wording of the hadith as if they were one, merging them together in an adulterous union that should have never happened. This was done on purpose, Uthman. You know it, and so do we. And now onto the new lie that we touched upon earlier. This is the page that he appealed to before he covered it up with his own typed comment, and it actually goes against him because it shows how Muslim commentators differed on what Messiah means. One, the top line, he said, Al-Masih, the Messiah, As-Siddiq, the righteous. The second opinion said, it means Musiha bil-Barakah, which means he was wiped with blessing. The third one from Al-Hasan al-Basri, it agrees, it said, his name is Al-Masih, meaning he was wiped with blessing. The fourth one here on the screen, it disagrees with the ones above and says, Al-Masih means Al-Malik, the king. All of them are describing the Messiah Al-Masih as a singular, meaning the Lord Jesus Christ, not meaning all the prophets. And they're all differing on what that title means. Unfortunately for him, Allah didn't know what Messiah meant, Muhammad didn't know what Messiah meant, and for hundreds of years afterwards, scholars and commentators differed on what the Messiah, singular word, meant, the one that belonged to Jesus Christ. None of them said, all the prophets are messiahs. That quote that he got, like we mentioned, was copied and pasted and slightly edited from a modern Muslim website describing what the Jews believed. And he edited the sentence to remove the part that said, the Messiah was a Jewish title mentioned in the Torah. But that's not a source. It's just Muslims talking on a website in an article. What is it with him and using modern people's words, pretending they're sources? Those are modern Muslims now talking about Jewish beliefs. What are you talking about? Again, shocking, panicked deception. Look here also at the Qortoby tafsir of Surah 3 verse 45. Notice that it's not covered up by text that somebody typed, and it's not a dodgy Word document that somebody printed. This is straight from the website. It says, quote, and the Messiah son of Mary is differed upon. It was said he wiped the earth, meaning he travelled without settling. Ibn Abbas said, لا يمسح ذا عاهة إلا برئ. He did not wipe a disabled one except he healed him. So he may have been called Messiah due to that. It was said because he was wiped with the ointment of blessing, and the prophets used to be wiped with it. And it was said he had smooth soles on his feet. And it was said because beauty wiped him, meaning it manifested in him. And it was said he was called that as he was wiped clean of sin. Notice the word wipe featured a lot here because the word wipe in Arabic, masaha, sounds like the Messiah, Masih. Those were poor Arabs guessing and trying to approximate the Hebrew word Messiah with the only language they knew, Arabic, because their ignorant false prophet didn't realize that Messiah was a Hebrew word that he put in his Arabic Quran without knowing what it means. And his ignorant alter ego Allah couldn't tell him or tell the Muslims, and so they have been guessing ever since. Muslims listening, if you want to know what the word Messiah means, come to the Bible. It is a Hebrew word, it is not Arabic. We again challenge Uthman ibn Fibn to show us in any credible book where it says all prophets are messiahs in Islam. It doesn't say that. Show us in a source that hasn't been made up or tampered with or doctored or had the page covered up by text that you type. Show us a source from Islam where it says all prophets are messiahs, or show us the plural of messiah, al-musahha, the word, in any reference. You can't, because it doesn't exist. The one that you got was a typo in a footnote. Try again. Try again without deception this time. Can you do that? As for sincere Muslims who would like to know what Messiah really means, Messiah means Savior. The Jewish people were looking for God to send a Messiah, an anointed one, a chosen one. In John 4, Jesus himself claimed to be the promised Messiah. When he spoke to the Samaritan woman, she said, I know that Messiah is coming, who is called Christ. When he comes, he will tell us all things. Jesus said to her, I who speak to you am he. And also in this passage, Isaiah 53, He was despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And as one from whom men hide their faces, he was despised, and we esteemed him not. Surely he has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, and we esteemed him stricken, smitten by God, and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions, he was crushed for our iniquities. Upon him was the chastisement that brought us peace, and with his wounds we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray, we have turned every one to his own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. That is the Lord Jesus Christ, who came and was pierced for our sins, and all our sins were laid on him, and by that we are healed and given peace with God. That is the Messiah, the Lord Jesus Christ. So Muslims, come to Jesus of Nazareth. He is the one and only Christ, Messiah, Savior, who can save you.